Perfect.
I should put my volume on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Soft Sports. If you're not familiar with Soft Sports at Houston, Texas, Homer. Why is this shit so fucking bright? Oh, I know what it is. And pardon the glitching behind me. But if you're not familiar with Soft Sports at Houston, Texas, Homer Network, not just talking Texans, but today we are. Now, y'all may recognize a familiar face that you may not have seen in a while. It's been a minute since he's been in it. Allow me to reintroduce Mr. Toxic City Tenny. Mr. Toxic City Tenny, how you doing this evening, sir? Or this morning? I'm so used to doing sauce in the evening.
I'm doing great, man, and I'm ready for some Houston Texans football. I'm ready for football to be back in general. You know, maybe not all my teams doing good this weekend. We're going to get it done today.
That other team wouldn't happen to be a little further up north over there in Austin, would it?
Well, you know what, man? We're changing for O'Brien. We're gonna get him in there. Best college coach ever was.
That seems to be the play. He's gonna be a high commodity once he leaves Alabama and does absolutely nothing, but gets credit for it. Hey, but he's done it before. He'll do it again. All right, yeah, it's been some unfortunate stuff going on around the college ranks. Definitely. I don't think anybody has it too much worse than Florida State. Ended up losing to Jacksonville, and that was like, oh, Jacksonville. Please tell me this ain't the same Jacksonville, or not, Jacksonville, Florida, but it turned out to be Jacksonville, Alabama. Because then I'm going to say maybe the Texans had a better chance because they used all the Jacksonville juice. You know, you can only get so lucky. But that's a whole nother state, whole nother Jacksonville, so not necessarily to our benefit. Before we get into it, man, you know, Sauce Nation, what we do a little thing around here called the Sauce Nation Roll Call. If you're not familiar with it, then you might not be true to this thing, or you might be very new to this thing. But if you know what's shaking, if you are in the greater Houston area, shout out your side with pride so we can send a little bit of love in your direction. If you're not from the greater Houston area, then, well, you know, it's unfortunate for you. But we'll still send a little digital love your way. That's the beauty of the internet. We still got love for you. We'll send in your direction. Victor Ayala, appreciate the love. That super saucy, super chat love. Thank you so very much. I guess I got to start it off right with the don't know already. Appreciate the love. See what we got in the building, man. I see Mitch in the building. I see D. Davis in the building, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Swisher Jabari, AOS. It says ruining the vibe of the Jacks. That might not be. Yeah, Urban Meyer's, we gonna get on Urban. We're going to talk about Urban today. Houston Texans talk. The wise man in the building. D. Pritch, a.k.a. Texans Palace. Texans Palace. If you're not following Texans Palace on the gram, well, goddamn, I tell you every damn stream that you need to be following the shit, that you need to be on your shit, that you need to be getting the Texans info and news and all that stuff. But you don't want to do it. You don't listen to me. So if you ain't following by now, that's your own motherfucking fault. Victor, y'all appreciate the love. Master Race, Ransom Bay, Brandon R. Purple Drake, what's the motherfucking drill? Dropping the emojis in the chat already. Hey, if you are a channel member, drop them emojis in the chat. Let us know where you at. Kenneth Cologne, Juice World. Let's see. Voodoo Child, one half of the greatest moderating couple in all the land. It's always good to see you. Even though you're not the better half, we'll take it. Slim Hardaway, let's see. Frank in H-Town, if you ain't following that Frank in H-Town on the gram, might not be Texas news, but it's some news you can use. You better watch. There she is, the better half of the greatest moderating couple in all the land. Miss Alana in the building. David Lugo, Cavity Creep. Let's see. Jay Boogie, Trinity Gardens in the building. Ready for 4 to be gone. We got a lot to talk about with that. Danity, Sensei Mama, Dirty Bay in the building. Texans boy, Greens Point in the building already. Aurelius Overseer, and what? Legend has it, Dunyala Messengers returning this season. Boy, I couldn't wait to see it. JP the Don, and have a cold one on me. That's the best. Appreciate the love, Mitch, with the super sauce, super chat love. Man, I appreciate y'all so. It's good to see y'all. It's Sunday, man. It's been a long time. Whew. Let's get into it. Texans take on the Jags today. We start off a brand new regime. We're all 0-0 right now. Well, so you got Dallas and the Bucs. They start out a little bit ahead of everybody else, but that's all Dallas's fault. I don't know, man. I think we got a lot going on. We got the national media saying one thing. We got the local media who nobody cares about. And then we got the fans. And the fans are what matters. That's what the sauce is all about, is fans talking to fans. That's what it's always been. You know, no experts. We just express our feelings honestly. And, again, appreciate the love, Mitch. And what's the fan feeling, man? That's what we're here for. 10 man, we haven't talked to you in a while. So I want to know how you're feeling right now. We're on the brink of starting it all, going into the season. What are your thoughts?
Man, to be honest, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the first time in a long time. You know, Cal McNair, he set out to answer a lot of the things we've been asking for a long time. You know, Bill O'Brien, he ran his course here. It was 4 great years. Unfortunately, couldn't complete a 5th year. You know, things just went south with him with some of those manager moves that he made. They didn't quite pan out. You know, you got to accept blame. You got to move on. And I think he did that gracefully. I think the organization put in a lot of work and a lot of time to bring in a guy like Nick Caserio, hire a head coach like David Coley. They really did their homework on him. You know, they're putting us in a position not to win this year, but to win going forward. So I mean, when you walk into this brand new Texans building, you know they got the mechanical bull out front. Hopefully somebody's trying that out today and riding it around. You know, there's a lot of things to be hopeful with this team. You got a lot of young talent. You know, they're giving guys like Whitney Merciless rest today. You know, you're going to get to see Jonathan Grenard. You're going to get to see some of the other talent that we've been able to acquire. You know, it's exciting because we know the expectation is not to win it all this year, but to put ourselves in position to win it going forward. So, you know, I'm totally on board with this new Houston Texans style. You know, I love the remodeled break room, the remodeled locker room, all the fun things that they've brought into the building. You know, the barbecues have been nice to see. You know, they're really cutting loose, and they're really having fun now down there at NRG on Kirby.
Yes. The corporate method of team building, it seems, is what they've implemented, in my opinion. I see the barbecues, you know, say, you know what, we've been working hard, we've been practicing hard. Let's just get together as a team and let's get to know each other. Let's build some camaraderie. I mean, camaraderie is key. You know, having faith in the guy that's lining up next to you is very important. You know, again, it's when you're only working, because, I mean, we look at it as a game, we look at it as entertainment, but hey, these guys are working, right? So it's good to know your coworker on a more personal level, and I think the barbecue allowed us to have that. So, you know, as we move forward, we look at the team across from us. You know, they've had a lot of similar situations going on. You got a new quarterback at the helm. You got a new coaching staff. You know, some people are really high on Urban Meyer. Some people are not so much. He's just a college guy. But they had a pick that we didn't have, and they're going to be implementing and playing that. What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence, I'm not real high on that guy, Maybe it might be the long hair or something like that. Some guys just can't pull it off. And maybe it's the combination of his nose and hair. But as a Texans fan, I don't think I'll ever find anything that I like about our rivals. He might be a great young quarterback, but he's not going to be that today. And I really think that we can capitalize on stuff like that because they got a lot of youth in that building too that hasn't established themselves in this league. And you look at Urban Meyer, I mean, he's a rookie in himself. A rookie head coach in the NFL for the first time. It's going to be game one for him. It's going to be a task for the Houston Texans to win, but it's definitely something that they can accomplish today. And, you look at how guys like Jack Easterby has really brought, the Bible back into the building, really got these guys straightened out. I really feel morally this team's really set up to take on guys that kind of have a shaky foothold in the league. They're over there walking on thin ice too. They don't know what's going to work. They don't know what's proven for them. And you look at a guy like Trevor Lawrence. He's coming in from Clemson. They didn't quite end it the way that they wanted to last year. And you got these guys coming in, and you're trying to build a young team and get them ready to win. And it's going to be hard because we have veteran leadership. We have 5 running backs who have dominated this league in the last 4 years. If you really combine all their numbers, they're going to be out there kicking butt today, and I cannot wait to see it.
Okay. Well, you brought a very good point. It's almost, you say he brings the Bible back, bring the morals back. It's almost like David versus Goliath. And, David being the Texans and Goliath being the rest of the league, because it just seems like everybody is out to shit on the Texans the best they can. It just seems like everybody is just, they're not doing what we think they should be doing. They're not playing that guy who did some things in the offseason that are not commendable, that not in line with the character of which we've known. And they said, hey, maybe we need to go in a different direction. Maybe we need to let this guy sit down and recalibrate a little bit and then figure himself out and get himself together, get in line with our moral standards. And it seems like a lot of people are not too happy about that. But as it goes with that guy, I won't say that, we'll just call him number 4. Do you feel that could be a distraction in any way? Do you expect to hear, of course, commentators, they make a big story out of little things. They tend to do that a lot, as is with Jack Easterby's presence. Do you feel like that's going to be a distraction in the conversation today or on the field, him not being there at all? I mean, what are your thoughts on how number 4 has been handled and how the Texans may handle him going forward?
Let's just rip the Band-Aid right off. It's basically he is the story for the Houston Texans right now. National media loves Deshaun Watson, and quite honestly, we don't know what's real, what's fake, what's the truth, and what's not the truth. So I can't even speak onto that right now. But the national media will talk about it. They will talk about when will Houston move him, when will somebody make a trade offer they're willing to take. And I really trust this to be in Nick Caserio's hands. You can't pick a better guy to negotiate a situation like this. This man has been stone cold that guy for New England for a long time. And can you point to somebody else in the league that you would trust with this situation? No. Now, for right now, that might be the story going into this game. That might be the thing that a lot of people like to talk about. But going forward is going to be how Nick Caserio wins at this trade and gets him out of here. Now, will it happen today? Will it happen this weekend? Probably not. It's going to be coming, guys. I'm pretty sure that we won't spend the whole season talking about this. Deshaun Watson, number 4, he was our go-to guy. He was our number 1 guy. But you know what? In a couple of months, we probably won't even know the guy's name anymore.
Right. I mean, I was always a sharp guy myself. He was always upright, never had any off-the-field issues. He just had a bad year. And we just kind of bashed him for it. And I don't think he was right. I don't think he got the justice that he deserved. And what are you guys in the chat talking about? What are you guys talking about? What do you mean? It's positive. These are pure facts that are being spit here. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. And also the pistachios, they're just currency on the stream. You know what I'm saying? They're just currency on the stream. But all BS to the side, right? So we're taking on a division rival, and these games count a little bit more. They weigh a little bit more in the grand scheme of things. I don't think anybody has the Texans doing anything this year, right? I don't think anybody has the Texans expecting to have a victory. I've seen people say 0-17. I've seen them say 0-16-1. I don't know where the draw comes from. what are your overall expectations? I mean, starting today, and with a team like this, again, who is a young team, same division, can the Texans pull one off? You know, I mean, like I said, have they maybe been pulling the wool over the league's eyes, and they're really hiding and holding on to something that the competition may not, be expecting?
It's definitely a possibility because when you look at the team and how it's been built that it's a team effort now. You're not leaning on one guy. You're not leaning on, one of the greatest Texans to ever do it, Mr. 99. We don't have him here anymore. So you got a collective effort going out on that field today, and you don't know where the firepower is coming from. You got Tyrod Taylor. This guy is going to give you accurate passes. He's going to keep INTs low. You got Phillip Lindsay. You got Mark Ingram leading the way. They're backed up by David Johnson. And just, can't wait to see Scotty Phillips get out there. It's really unfortunate we won't get to see Charlie Heck out there. I think he was going to be a really great addition to the offensive line. He had some struggles last year, but you look at him this year, I mean, this guy's getting downfield and putting paws on people. So, it's going to be a little shaky up front, but you got leadership there. You got guys who have played with the team, guys who played elsewhere in the league at high levels at one point in time, but you got them here in the building. So definitely against a team like Jacksonville, they can pull the wool over everybody's eyes and it's come out there and get them a good W today. Now going forward, you got to look at the new added game to this. You got 17 weeks you got to play through, then get into a postseason. Our Houston Texans probably aren't built for the postseason right now, but what they are built to do is go out there, get you 5 wins, get you 6 wins, and maybe even 8 wins. This is the kind of team that comes from behind and actually gets you good, solid wins. Okay? These guys are going to be battling it out every week, and I can guarantee that this team was built for this right now. This ain't a tank job, okay? We're not trying to lose all 17 games. Who sets out to do that kind of stuff? Nobody. All right? We're talking about the NFL here. We're talking about a guy in Nick Caserio who's constantly trying to bring in talent, and he went and got Danny Amendola. He's going to be a great addition to the wide receivers. You got Brandon Cooks out there. You got Chris Conley. Does anybody remember the last time you saw Chris Conley and what he did on the field? Come on, this guy is a stud. You got him out there, and of course we got Farrell Brown. He's ready to take off. I mean, we're set up that we are going to be one of those, lunch pail teams. You bring your lunch and dinner to work because you're working 18 plus hours. These are the kind of guys that are going to do it for you. Now, like I said, don't expect playoffs out of them. Don't expect a postseason run, but expect great things. You got a lot of players on this team that's going to be around for 6. Well, 6 would probably be the max, but 4 to 6 years, really getting you ready for that Super Bowl run once Nick Caserio gets it all set in place.
Okay. Now let's play the hypothetical Houston game, right? So say these guys have a strategy. Say they're doing something different than the rest of the league. Expects to be pretty run heavy. I see Texans Palace says that Scotty Phillips is inactive, which is unfortunate. Really want to see what he can produce, but hey, it's just unfortunate. But let's play the hypothetical Houston game. I know a lot of people count us out, but say this is the Texans team of all Texans teams that goes to the AFC Championship. What does that say about the decisions that the Texans have been making in prior years?
It goes to show that we weren't too far off the mark.
Mm-hmm.
If we were capable to do something like that this year, we weren't far off the mark.
Mm-hmm.
You just had to get some of the distractions out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, he was a little showboaty at times. 99, he was a little past his prime, but still the greatest Texan of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even venture to say better than number 80.
Mm.
Okay? Number 80 only put up top receiving yards 2 times. He went defensive player 3 times.
Mm.
So I'm just going to say, if we want to talk accolades. But, I think it's the idea that you bring in a group of guys, you got 11 and 11 on each side that are really working, really busting their butts to get there and get the job done. So definitely, how do you not say it's not hard? How do you not say it's not the key visual aspect of judging talent like Nick Caserio or the moral compass like Jack Easterby that doesn't get you there?
Mm. Hey, I'd have to agree. I definitely have to agree. So some things happened this week with the Texans. Unfortunately, to me, some last-minute moves that kind of took place. And we've talked about that secondary in past years being shaky. I thought maybe they were trying to do some things to bolster its strengths, but then kind of a last-minute decision. Saints are getting desperate out there. Texas had the ability to accommodate them. They provide them with maybe, what some people would say, our best DB, and Bradley Roby. They acquired a third-round pick, and I think I forgot I keep forgetting the damn word, but a pick to be decided later, whatever it may be. I'm not sure if they figured out what it was going to be. But in that move, what does that tell you about the Texans? Does that concern you at all about the Texans secondary?
I think it speaks to the tactical mind of Nick Caserio. This guy got a distraction out of here. I mean, you can't really have guys take the PEDs. We got to keep the sport pure.
Yes.
You can't be playing those kind of games, okay? Bradley Roby put himself in that position not even to be playing today. So what's the loss of him today anyways? And you look at the strategic genius again that this guy goes out here, spends $7 million for a third-round pick plus another pick. It's conditional. I think Bradley Roby will meet those conditions. There's nothing that tells me that it wouldn't. I mean, he's not very injury-prone. I mean, although he did have little injury issues with us. But, I mean, you think about it. What's the conditions that are going to be needed to be met? I mean, he's going to have to play 8 games. We got 17 games we got to go through. He's getting a 16-game crack at it. I mean, this guy, I wish him the best. But, I mean, you got to get distractions out of the building, and you got return and value. I mean, look at some of the third-rounders that we've had in the past few years. Look at the trades that he's made so far. He's gotten a lot of late-round picks, and the Houston Texans have always been good at late rounds. And I'm pretty sure a lot of that the scouting room is still together. You got guys that bleed over from one regime to the next. So Nick Caserio has a lot of good heads that he can lean on. These are guys that are really thinking football, and they're really trying to get these wins together. Like I said, not this year, but next year. And it's all about going forward.
Okay. And I'm trying to. I see what's going on in the chat, gosh, and you guys. I don't know what you guys want. Okay, I don't know. For years, people have been coming in here saying you saw sports guys. You guys are just so negative. You guys are just so mean, and you don't look for the good points in the team. And we say, what? It's a new season. It's a new sauce. It's a new team, new regime. We're gonna hit that reset button, and we're gonna say, maybe the people were right. Maybe we've just had the tinted shades on, and we were looking at all the negativity. And now we're speaking to you guys and telling you what you need here. Now you're mad about it. What's going on? I mean, what do you guys really want?
Can I speak to the chat real quick, guys?
Yes, sir.
Look, they've done what we asked for. We wanted a new head coach. We got us a new head coach. We needed a GM with a vision and a plan to get somewhere. We went and got it. We really got to let it play out. I mean, how can we start making predictions on guys that haven't even won yet, haven't even lost yet? I mean, unless y'all can draw some comparisons to anything else that's happened like this in the league, but I really don't think it's ever happened like this in the league before. And you really sit down, you really think football, you got a bunch of running backs that have – I mean, we got what, three of the running backs of the last 4 years that's really dominated the running game in this league. I mean, Phillip Lindsay had a great run over in Denver. Mark Ingram has been able to move from the Saints to the Baltimore Ravens and just dominate in what he does. He plays power running back.
Fine.
I mean, he gets you. He's going to get you those touchdowns. And if you're thinking otherwise, you're fooling yourself. You got Brandon Cooks, who honestly we got for a steal, second round. But everybody else that traded for him had to spend a first round pick. We got Brandon Cooks for a second round pick. That's a steal. We just signed Chris Conley off the street. Chris Conley, I mean, come on. This guy has played with Andy Reid, not only in Philly, but also in Kansas City. I mean, what else you got to ask for? We got Danny Amendola. Yeah, come on. Patriots. Come on. Rams. I mean, this guy has been around the league. You got Tyrod Taylor. Let me ask you, last time Tyrod Taylor's thrown 10 interceptions. I know number 4 has. I don't know about Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor gets you touchdowns over INTs. He may not be leading the league in passing, but this guy will get it done for you, and we gave him the weapons to do it. These are all the things we've been asking for. Can nobody argue that we're not going into this thinking football? Because right now, buddy, I'm telling you right now, this is football. And this is Houston Texans football because we are Texans.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. And I know you guys don't. The problem is you've been blinded for so long by the Billy O's of the league, the Garys of the league. And they thought they had a vision, right? They thought they had a vision, but they didn't have the vision. And see, what it is because you were used to seeing the way they perceive things for so long, you're not seeing this innovative view that the Texans are bringing in now, right? And so because you cannot see the innovation in this situation, it's hard for you guys to just realize the direction that the Texans are taking. It may take a little time. It may take, a season and some change, but eventually they're going to get to the top of the mountain. They shall overcome. And so that's.
Think about it. We don't have to win this year. We don't need the Super Bowl this year.
No.
We're looking at the Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at bringing in the talent right now, establishing them. Because you got Roy Lopez, you got Farrell Brown, you got Nico Collins, you got a plethora of young guys that came into this building, and they can really establish themselves and set themselves up going forward. They will be the leaders of tomorrow, and that's what we're looking at. We're going to go get us a quarterback in one of these drafts. We're going to start solidifying the right side of that line. Because all we're really missing is center and right guard. We got Charlie Heck at right tackle once he gets healthy from COVID. You got Titus Howard on the left guard. You got Larry Tunsil on the left tackle. You got him locked down to a 3-year contract. Where can that go wrong? Come on, guys. Let's start thinking football here. Failing is not a bad thing this year. Failing's not a bad thing next year. It's all about getting that 3rd year. And I'm telling you right now, the guy that's at the helm, he's getting us there. Nick Caserio, he's not going to stop here. We have a bad game today, bad game next week. Let me tell you what he's going to do. He's going to go get his talent to start winning. This guy's not stopping.
I agree. And you honestly, this isn't the year you want to win it all. Who wants to be the team to win the first season of 17 games? That has to be a curse on the franchise going forward in the future. Mark my motherfucking words. That's going to be the team. Whoever wins it all this year is going to be a curse in their franchise. That 17, it's an odd number. We used to have a 17 here. He didn't perform well. There's just a bad association with the number 17. So you don't want to be the first one to do that. Couple of things going on. We got a couple of injuries, and I want to make sure we speak on those. People are saying, well, what's going on? What are your thoughts on this and that? I thought I saved them. I thought I did. Maybe I put them elsewhere. Let me see. It might be here. Let me do it in this fashion. I apologize, guys. I thought I had it all together, but I guess I didn't. Players F up. All right, that's what happens. Inactive players. You got Lonnie, right, which is really unfortunate because I like Lonnie, but I don't know. I just have this feeling that Lonnie could be on the fringe of something. I know they said there's an injury, and then remember there was those rumors about Lonnie and Lawson, and then it turned out to be true about Lawson. I just got this feeling that Lonnie's got the Twitter fingers, man, and I don't know if he's falling in line with the righteous movement taking place in the building right now. I don't know. I think he might still be a little bit of a holdout, and if he is, hey, if he's not going along with the program, you're gonna have to get him out of here. One bad apple can spoil a bunch. So, I really like Lonnie, and I hope that he can see the vision. I hope he can see the innovation and get with the situation. Anthony Miller. We lost him a little bit early in the preseason. He came back. I guess, let these guys kind of get fully healed up. There's no reason to rush him back into the game. Some guy, number 4. I don't even know what that's all about. Brevin Jordan, now that surprises me because I really want to see what the kid Jordan's working with. I like Farrell Brown, we're familiar with Akins, but I want to see what he's got going on. Jimmy Moreland. I did not know that, because like I said, we're talking about that DB situation. We need all hands on deck when it comes to this Texan secondary. That's just a necessity. Scotty Phillips, we mentioned that earlier. Renard and Kevin Pierre-Louis. Notice we got a lot of linebackers with the two last name thing going on. I don't know if that's a trend, if that's like a new one of those new styles that they're doing in the NFL now. Certain things like, yeah, got the dread, let me get 2 last names now. I don't know if that's what's happening. If that's like everybody's trying to be cool now or whatever's going on with that. But I think Renard was a little injured early in the preseason too. And then, like I said, the Jordan maybe is important. Are those names though? Does any of those stand out? Or guys that you would have really liked to be able to see play today, or any guys that you have concern with moving into the future as Texans? What are your thoughts on the inactives today for the Texans?
Like I said, I was kind of shocked to see Scotty Phillips. I mean, we saw the list pop up, didn't have a chance to look at it before we started the stream. So, I was hoping to see maybe Scotty Phillips out there, because these guys get special team reps, nonetheless. He may not be carrying the rock all the time, but if one of our guys do go down, he'll get those opportunities. So it kind of sucks not being able to see him today. Grenard is another one. You said Grenard, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would have really liked to see what he could do today. That guy right there, I mean, he's got superstar written all over him. If anybody's going to challenge J.J. Watt's sack records, it's going to be that guy right there. Or even Jacob Martin. Let's not leave him out of the running. He's still going to be playing today. But, I mean, that would probably be my main two, offense, defense guy. I was really hoping to see them. I'm real high on Farrell Brown. I think Farrell Brown's going to take the top off the league today. And he's just going to be out here and he's going to say, look at me. Who's George Kittle? Who's Travis Kelce? You got Farrell Brown.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, at this point, we haven't mentioned the elephant in the room. And, we've kind of briefly talked about the quarterback situation, but we haven't mentioned the real elephant in the room. And I think it's necessary that we address it. General Mills. I mean, in your opinion, like I said, it's been a while since we talked. When does General Mills come in and take the helm, for this Texans team? I mean, do you think Tyrod's going to hold it down for the season, allow Mills to develop and become the player he ultimately knows that becomes the player that we ultimately know that he can become? Or, are we just going to, throw him in the fire and let him develop quickly? I mean, what are your thoughts with that?
God forbid we got a guy in the building like the Chargers did last year. Somebody is just play pretending doctor and hurts Tyrod, okay? Because that's the only way I see him not playing this year. I think General Mills is definitely going to have opportunity. It'll probably be later in the season. When you're trying to, when he finally gets the playbook underneath him, he's kind of been able to read through, run some practices, basically run second team drills and all that fun stuff, and get himself in a position where he can really step out into the field. Because you put a guy like that in later in the year, probably week 10, week 11, week 12, get him some reps. You close out a game with him. Then you start bringing him in to start a game. Because, if you don't got a winning record, you bring the young guy out, let him get a little baptism under fire. He's got to get those opportunities and those reps at this level so that way next year, if Tyrod is not our answer, we got him on deck and ready to go. We don't have to draft a quarterback next year. We could just put Davis Mills in there. And, I mean, let me tell you right now, Davis Mills, that's a hell of a name for a quarterback, okay? You can put him right on the cereal box and just sell tons of that stuff from the HEB.
I see Wheaties coming up right now. I'm surprised Wheaties not knocking his door down as we speak.
I mean, he's a Stanford guy. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Correct. Hey, lovely Miss Sarah Lou. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Super saucy, super chat love. So we do a thing around here. This is the nice new positive sauce, the positive sauce that you guys want. So we're gonna be careful with our terminology. It's called Mark My Mother Fluffin' Words. Okay, and if y'all know what that means, MMMFW, and it's kind of a thing where you drop a bold prediction, right? I mean, you throw a bold prediction. You gotta throw it out there. It can't be, I think Tyrod's going to throw for 172 yards and be 16 of 19 with 2 touchdowns. That's a mediocre, and that's not Tyrod Taylor. Okay, so I mean, you got to get out there. You got to put a bold prediction on. I mean, you got to lay the smack down on your prediction. So you guys, and if you want us to, to catch them, to read them, and then put our opinion on them, you got to put the hashtag, because the hashtag helps us see it in the chat. Sometimes a lot of stuff going on in the chat. So you just put that hashtag MMMFW so we can see that, and we'll get on that. And then as we get towards the end of the stream, we'll kind of get into the score prediction and things like that. But we'll start with the 10-man. What's your Mark My Mother Fluffin' Words for today's game? I mean, what are you seeing? What's your bold prediction for what takes place today?
MMMFW for TCT, Mr. TCT, Tot City Teams. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you like this. Farrell Brown will go out there, and he's going to catch for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. Okay. And I'm telling you something, man. This guy's got it. 120 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I'll put a caveat on that. This defense comes away with 3 turnovers.
Okay. 3 TOs for the defense. This sounds like you feel like this is Farrell Brown's town. I mean, yeah, okay. Okay.
I mean, you might as well change it to the Farrell or Houston Farrell Browns. That's what this is.
Okay. The Houston Browns? Yeah.
Houston Browns.
And that might conflict with another organization somewhere in the league, but they're not using it well, so we'll take that. Okay. So we got a couple in the chat, and I if I'm not mistaken, I think Ingram's going to be the guy starting today. But I know they said they're going to get a lot of rotations in, keep guys fresh. I'm a firm believer in feeding the hot hand. The man said he ages like fine wine, and I believe it, right? I believe it. Who am I to disagree with the man? He says it. He had a little segment, and so who am I to disagree that he ages like fine wine? I say Mark Ingram. He's going to come out here, and I mean he's just going to dominate the ground game. I'm going to give Mark Ingram. I'm saying he's going to get some good break. I'm going to give him 131 yards rushing, right? I'm going to give him 131 yards rushing. I'm going to give him. I'm going to be slightly less in the touchdown department. I say 2 touchdowns. He might get caught, close to the goal line. They may feed somebody else. May give it to Lindsey, let him get a little credit. But I think he's going to get him 2 TDs. I mean, he's going to run all over this Jags defense. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him on the Jags defense? Really? I mean, this is Mark Ingram that we're talking about. So I see, it's like spoiled milk. Y'all are terrible people. Terrible people. Spoiled milk. If you keep it cold, you got some buttermilk. You can turn into butter. You can always turn. If you just keep it in good faith, you can turn it into something good. I don't know.
Cottage cheese is a hell of a snack.
Well, there you go, right there. I see. That's a score prediction, Asmel. I ain't gonna make that your mark, your mother fluffing words. Jared Key says we'll have fun and shake hands after. That's what I'm talking about. Good old sportsmanship. Hey, if you're not a good sport, then you don't need to be in this sport. That's the way I feel. I see Texans force 4 turnovers, 5 sacks. All right, you're going to get aggressive. Welcome the young man to the league. Okay. I see win by 2 scores with a defensive touchdown. I can see it. Right now, we're talking defense. In your opinion, Tim, man, who is the defensive standout on this Texans team in your opinion? Who are you paying the most attention to in your opinion?
Who am I paying attention to the most? Man, it's none more than the heart and soul right now in that secondary. Mr. Justin Reed himself. I mean, this guy's he's pulling double duty today. Didn't somebody say he's going to be kicking today?
Oh, is he?
Miami Fairbairn's not going to be kicking.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, we may see field goals and interceptions from this guy today. Tell me the last time you've seen a player do that in the league.
I mean, hey, that's a skill set. I think he needs a pay raise just for that. Why don't we just give him Kaimi's check? Because, hey, I don't know what's going on, Kaimi. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's on IR for a couple of games. And I know they had brought that other guy in that they had on the practice squad. I don't know what his situation is. I don't know if, he might be a little too fresh to the organization to have really bought in. Reed seems to have bought into the program. So I definitely would trust his leg a bit more. I see Tyrod going to throw 5 TDs, 500 yards. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Put some Texas records on the board. Yeah, when have you ever seen Ford do that? Huh? Yeah, when he's out there doing other stuff, shame on him. I see David Johnson, 100, 2 tubs, all right. All touchdowns coming from defense and special teams, mark my mother fluffing words. All right. Texans 3, Jags 2, that's terrible. I could never imagine. Reed has another game-ending stop, all right. Tyrod Taylor, 300, 5 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks, 150 for 2 TDs, all right. Terrible. Number 4 gets caught with another masseuse this weekend. I can't believe you would say such a thing. That's terrible. 2 pick sixes by the defense, 2 TDs by the offense, 1 field goal. All right. Yes, and Mr. Rio did own up like a man. He called in and he did eat his crow, and his Casario crow. And so shout out to Mr. Rio. You can see two rushing TDs, 110 rushing. All right. Here's my deal, right? Here's my deal. Desmond King gets 1 pick and 1 punt return TD. Okay. David Johnson, 1.8 yards per carry. I thought we were supposed to make bold predictions here. If I'm looking at the defense, I think we got a guy there that I think a lot of us are sleeping on, that a lot of people are underestimating. Or I just don't feel like he gets enough credit, right? And that's the Zach Attack, right? And you know what he does for us. We know what he does for us as a Texans fan. We know the stats. And I think guys that play in the league know what Zach is capable of. But he just doesn't get that recognition. And he's not a guy the Texans seem to put out in the forefront. We've talked about this in the past. Guys that are pretty good that the Texans don't properly promote, in my opinion. He's always one of the leading tacklers in the league. But what is it? Do you think that he's got some other stuff going on that the Texans just don't want to put him to the forefront? Do you think he's got some shenanigans going on? Why don't you think he gets the love that he deserves?
I think it is because his quiet nature. He's a quiet-natured person. When Bernard McKinney was leading the cosplay quadruple quartet that they were running last year, everybody that's dressed up. I mean, that was about the happiest I've seen Mr. Zach Cunningham. And right now, a lot of his friends aren't playing on the team right now. And I think that affects him a little bit, but I expect him to take out some of that frustration because, linebackers, they're always full of anger. They're ready to hit somebody, ready to hurt somebody, like the great Brian Cushing. I mean, this guy took a helmet to the head. And I think that kind of style of play is very warranted from Zach. I think he's going to go out there and start laying the wood on a few guys today.
Okay. So you just think he's just a guy. I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not going to be vocal about it. I just let my play do the talking. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, put your faith in God.
Okay. I can do with that. I believe right now we currently got about 50 plus haters in the stream right now. It's unfortunate, about 50 haters, right at about 50.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, guys, we've been bad. We're coming off a 4-12 season. We're in rebuild mode. I get it. Come sit next to me, brother. I mean, I got an open seat right here. We'll watch the game together, and we can talk this through. And this is what it's about. It's about going forward. Yes. It's not about looking backwards.
Correct. You can't change the past. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you can stew on it. You can marinate in it, but you can't change it. All you can do is have hope for the future, and all you can do is hit that like button or hit that dislike button. They're both free, and it doesn't matter. Just so that you're here, that you got some engagement. Hey, if you don't like the message, well, we'll work on that. We'll innovate like Casario and Cully. We'll put our heads together and we'll figure that thing out. But if you do like the message, hit that like button. The like button's free, and you're welcome to use it. We'd be greatly appreciated. So, the standings in the AFC South. This is the first AFC South matchup, that we're going to have. And then just looking at the division as a whole. Some guys have made some moves. Some teams tried to make some moves, caught some injuries. And the Texans have made their own path. Who are you looking at, right now before everything takes place, who are you looking at to come out the South this year? Who do you think is going to end up taking this division?
I mean, honestly, through injuries and just the youth of the South right now, Tennessee's definitely got a strong hold on it. I mean, who doesn't think that Ryan Tannehill can't get him to the postseason? He's got Derrick Henry to lean on.
Yes.
I mean, that's a hell of a piece to lean on. You got a guy that can run the rock for 2,000 yards and really get you to where you're going. I mean, whenever you got a strong run game, there's nothing better than that. So definitely I expect to see Ryan. What's Ryan Tannehill? He's in his 8th or 9th year?
Somewhere like that. Don't let me lie to you.
It's about time that he takes that leap and becomes that guy. Becomes that Tom Brady, that Peyton Manning of the South.
Okay. Thanks, Lee. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, speaking of guys like that, and I agree with you on the Tennessee thing. It hurts my soul. It hurts my soul to say it.
It
does. But it's kind of the way things are looking right now. A weird fact, some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. I believe quarterbacks taking number 1 overall have lost their first start, going all the way back to a guy who's special in our hearts. And that's Mr. David Carr. So I believe they're 0-13 or something of that nature. Quarterbacks taking number 1 overall have lost their first start since David Carr. So I mean, I don't know if that bodes well. I don't know if that bodes well for the Texans today. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works. And then with the Jags losing that running back of theirs, that might also work in the Texans' favor. So it's gonna be very interesting what happens. I mean, like I say, it's gonna be tough, folks. It's gonna be a challenge. But what I would implore you to do, I know a lot of you guys are like, I don't want to watch these games. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. Well, there's a special place for you. Well, Tin Man said you can come sit next to him on the couch. Well, there's a way that you can do that. You can join that Patreon. You can become a channel member at the Saucy tier or higher. And you can come join us all in that Discord while we watch these games live. We discuss it. We have a great old time in there. We have a good fandom fellowship, if you will, and we talk about it. We help each other get through these games with fun, laughter, and entertainment. A little bit of profanity sometimes we lose it, but then we bring it back. Sometimes we lose a little bit, we bring it back. We work on it. So I implore you, hey, hit that link. The links you need are in the description below, patreon.com/saltsports, or you hit that join button, become a channel member, and just let me know, and I'll make sure we get that going for you. But we got a thing we like to talk about here called the score prediction. We've got about 15 minutes to game time. I'm getting excited. I don't know about you, Tim. Are you getting excited? Because I'm getting excited.
I'm telling you, man, I got the greatest Texans jersey on my back right now. I have the AFC South divisional hat. I mean, tell me how many our counterparts in our division have. Yeah. We have more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Where's Brian? Where's Brian Smith? Where's he at? Yeah. How does he feel about that? So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing we talk about called score prediction, right? Some people say Texans have no offense. They can't do anything. Some people say Texas defense is pretty strong. Some people disagree. Some people say the Texans are going to run the ball too much. This is a passing league, right? Some people say, Trevor Lawrence, he's going to light the league up as soon as he steps in. And Sunshine is going to remember the Texans. I can't remember the Titans yet. That'll be a joke or something whenever they play. Unfortunately, we can't really use it, but I tried to squeeze it in there somehow. It just didn't work. Anyway, and like I said, they got some receivers. Chenault's not bad. Jones isn't bad. Chark's all right, So they got some guys who can do some things, And we got a secondary that some people are higher on, some people are lower on. Hargrave says he's got the mental game down, so I believe him. If he said it, he said that he's working on the mental difficulties of the game, and I think if he's got his mental game strong, he'll be out there performing as only Hargraves can perform. So however you take that, that's on you. That's just my thing, man, and I want to know. I mean, just at this point, if you were to put some numbers on this thing, man, if you were to put some numbers on this game, what do you think the final score outcome will be? What is your score prediction, Mr. Tin Man?
I'm thinking 27-16, Houston Texans. Like I said, I got Farrell Brown at least taking in 3 touchdowns. I got those turnovers coming from the defense. We're definitely going to score off those, whether it be field goals or touchdowns. And I really trust our kicker in Justin Reed to get that done. And let me tell you something. If you weren't watching the preseason, get ready to be knowing Mr. Johnston's last name. Our punter is for real. That guy moves that ball down the field. Mr. Johnston is going to be a household Houston name. He's going to have a can of coffee somewhere in HEB. You will be able to pick up your little ground pound from him.
Okay. So you mentioned HEB, and I've been talking about a gentleman that I would love to see get an HEB commercial, Mr. Roy Lopez. Someone brought to my attention a thing. Now, I'm not going to put this person out there, but I would, if they are interested, I would love to have this discussion because Mr. Ricky D called in the other day, right? And he talked about the bachata versus the cumbia versus, I believe, a Tejano form of dancing, right? And someone said that they disagreed with his definitions of dance, and they said that he had those things incorrectly. Now, you being a Hispanic gentleman yourself, do you have any thoughts on that? I don't know if you were able to catch the call or not, but basically he was saying what the dance that Lopez performs is more of a bachata than a Texas, a Tejano version of the dance. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's fairly new. I have an idea of what you're talking about. I didn't get to hear the talk and stuff, and I didn't get to see the dance, so I can't critique it.
Okay.
But he is from El Paso, correct?
I do believe. Is he from El Paso?
It's either Waco or El Paso, out there in that West Texas. Now, growing up, whenever you go to a quinceañera, you got all these little dances that you got to do. You got to do a cumbia. You got the bachata. I can't say it right. I'm a little bit too white for that one. That's my whiteness coming through. But you got to look at it for what it is. If he grew up dancing to that stuff at cousins' quinceañeras, friends' quinceañeras, I mean, he's going to dance to what he's good at. What I'm hoping to see is Roy Lopez really embrace that Tejano aspect of it all. I want to see the cowboy hat. I want to see the pointy cowboy boots. You know, roach stompers. You go get them in the corner kind of boots. The toe kind of curls up at the end. I want him to embrace that. I mean, that right there, that's Honcho right there. That's the original cowboy, not them guys up in Arlington. I'm talking about Roy Lopez. He's our guy, and I would love to see him embrace that attitude.
Okay.
Hell, even if he grew out the mullet a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'll be with it. Hey, here's my deal, man. I've always been a big fan. I wish I could find some boots like that were in my size, but finding a quality shoe in a size 15 is not easy. It's difficult. It's frustrating, and it causes lots of anxiety. But so, I'm rooting for Roy, man. I know the Texans have a huge Hispanic fan base, and I think that he could become a fan favorite. I think he would be some good representation. I think he's a guy that could surprise a lot of people. I know he was considered very undersized. We saw some things from him in preseason, and there may be a possibility. Hey, there may be a chance that Roy can do that dance. So I see a lot of numbers. I see a lot of folks. Some folks leaning Jags. A lot of folks thinking T-Law Clarence. Clarence with the real nice parents. How you doing there, Mr. Clarence Austin Jr.? You think that T-Law's going to put T-Law? That's what you guys are calling it? T-Law? That's is he going to lay down the law? Is that what's going to happen? I don't think so. 303 yards, 2 TDs, huh? Well, we'll see about that. Two TDs to the Texans. He's going to throw some pick sixes, and we're going to turn those into TDs. So my thoughts on that. I said that Mr. Ingram will get him 100 and some change, 2 touchdowns. I do think the defense, again, Lawrence, rookie guy. I don't think we're going to have the Romeos, where we had issues with rookies for some real reason. I think Lovey gets us past that. I'm gonna go with 31, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 31-17. That's where I'm going to go with the team. I'm going to go 31-17. I think the defense is going to put us in some positions to get some short field because I don't really see the Texans driving. We see in the preseason they were having struggles driving the ball down the field. I would love to see, Justin get a chance to put one through the uprights. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be a great highlight for the rest of the season. Just motivation, just to know we're trending in the right direction. And I think that what do you call him there, Clarence? T-Law? T-Law's going to have some struggles in his first game. I think that it's going to be a little bit for him. I think he'll develop from here on out. He may be better the next go around, but I think he's going to have some jitters, some butterflies when it all counts. You know what I mean? Preseason's one thing. The big game when it's a real thing, it's where it's at. So we got a few things as we're winding down here, and then for those of you guys who are part of the Patreon, a part of the membership, we're going to be jumping immediately in the Discord. You know how we're rocking. We're going to get in there. We're going to get there. We're going to knock the roof off that thing. Unlike the Texans, they keep that roof closed. We're going to knock the roof off the Discord, and we're going to get in there. But we will have the post-game show. It's been a while. It's been a long time since we've had a post-game show, but we will have the post-game show after the game, immediately after the game, win or lose, right? Win or lose, we'll be here. So we expect you, we implore you to be here, as optimistic as ever, as positive as ever. This is now no longer the most negative conversation, in Houston sports. Because see what happened is the sauce was super negative. Everybody, all those guys were so negative. And something happened, and like the whole town turned negative. Everybody starts sounding like so. So you know what? I'm following the 10-man train. We're turning this thing around. You know what I mean? We're going to turn this thing around. We're going to be the most positive conversation in town now, because everybody wants to be negative now. We always got to be trendsetters around here. So we're now the most positive conversation in Houston. Everybody else turned on the Texans. Well, you know what? It's Team Texans now. And if you can't see the vision, if you can't see the innovative methods in which they're building this team upright, well, shame on you. And I can't believe it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and ready to wind it down. So we got a few minutes for everybody to get their popcorn, get their chips together, and get your pregame snacks together and all that good stuff. But Sauce Nation, hey man, you guys are great. Mr. Tin Man, anything you want to say to the people before we get ready to wrap it up?
Man, Jack Easterby brought faith back into the building, and I'm telling you right now, as fans, we need to have faith in this team. Tuck your jerseys into your pants because it's going to be a long year. We're gonna be pulling for these teams every single week. I'm telling you, 2 to 3 years, we're going to be making them postseason runs again. Don't you fret. Nick Caserio's our guy. Jack Easterby knew it. He brought him to Cal McNair, and it was all chosen by God and ordained. All right, so let's get ready. Let's go Houston Texans, because what are we? We are Houston Texans.
Correct. You ain't never lying. So here's the deal, man. This is what's going to happen. Immediately after the game, y'all just pull up, right? I'll have everything getting and going, and we'll get it booted and tooted. But you guys just pull up. Like I tell you, just pull up. It's, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pull up. Even if you don't see the notification, sometimes the platform doesn't like to shoot out the notification, but we're going to be here. We're going to be here immediately after the game. And, let's get this thing going, man. I mean, let's just get this thing. Somebody has to root for these guys. Why can't it be us? If everybody else wants to jump ship, if they want to go escort that guy to the massage parlor and that's the way they're rolling, well, they can all go wait in line. We're going to be over here rooting for the goddamn Texans. With that being said, hey, man, you guys be cool like you be cool. Make sure you're following on all the proper social medias up there. Make sure that way you can know what's going on in the sauce. And again, if you want to be a part of that Discord conversation, we'll be rocking with the game live in the Discord. So if y'all don't want to miss it, you guys want somebody to watch the game with in an enjoyable fashion, patreon.com/saucesports, or become a channel member at the Saucy tier or higher. Links in the description below. Make it easy on you. All you got to do is click them. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, y'all stay saucy. Make sure you hit that like button if you ain't hit it. We will be back. And let's go Texans. We're out.